friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. Well, today I wanted to try an experiment, and I just got done harvesting a bunch of nasturtium flowers and leaves that I was going to dehydrate because I've already got started dehydrating these, and I want to get a bunch dehydrated up. But then I thought, man, I bet these would taste really good fermented. So we're going to give it a try. Alright, so what I'm going to do is you remember in one of my garden videos I was talking about the green onions that I planted. I started from just little pieces of store-bought green onions, and this isn't even one of the biggest ones that I've harvested off there. So I'm going to be adding that in. And then I picked one, it's kind of small yet, but I had some really big ones. I'm going to show you a picture right here of the last Anaheim peppers that I picked. And those ones are a pretty nice size. They get big anyway. I like Anaheim peppers. I only wish they could be a lot more spicy since they don't seem spicy at all to me. But they're a pepper that I can grow, so I grow them and I use them. But this one's a little small, but I'll be adding this one. And then I've got some spices here that I'm going to add. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to toss in some of the flowers and some of the leaves. I'm just putting the whole things in there, stems and all. I could cut them up, but I'm not going to bother. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut up my onion and my pepper. So I'll speed this up. Now I have these cut up, so I'm going to sprinkle in a few of the onions right here. And just a couple of these little peppers. So these are mostly for flavor. Now I'm going to add some spices. Since the Anaheim peppers aren't hot, I got to put in some red pepper flakes. And, a couple tablespoons. Sounds good. I'm going to put in about a teaspoon of my Himalayan pink salt. And since my garlic, I really wanted to put some fresh garlic in here, but it's not ready yet. So we'll be using some granulated garlic, about a tablespoon of that. And maybe about another tablespoon or two of some dehydrated garlic slices. All right, I'm going to pack some more of this stuff in here. When I do my fermented vegetables, I tend to like to layer, just kind of put it in layers like that. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to add 1/4 cup of my fermentation starter. And that's a little more than 1/4 cup, but hey, I'm good with that. Now, if you saw that video about the fermentation starter, or just in case you didn't, or just in case I didn't explain it good enough, now that I've used what I'm going to use out of here, I'm going to go ahead and add about a tablespoon more sugar back in there, and I'm going to top it off with my good filtered rainwater. I'm going to give it a good shake, or you can stir it, and then I'm going to let it sit before I put it back in the fridge. I'm going to let it sit for a few hours. Now I'm going to add that fermentation starter to my vegetables. Okay, and now I'm going to, my nasturtiums, now I'm going to top it off with rainwater. Now you can choose to mix this all in a separate bowl and then fill your jar. I just prefer to do it this way because then I can see how much I need as I'm doing it, and then just always add more if I need more. And if I get, like when you mix it in a bowl, sometimes you can get too much. Okay, so push some of those air bubbles out. You're not canning it, so it's not that big a deal. I just like to push them out so that I can see if I need to add more water to it or not. As long as the vegetables stay covered, it should be good. Okay, we'll add just a little bit more. Then I'm going to use a Tatler lid today. Put my lid on there. This on tight so I can shake it. Now, if you use the Tatler lid, what I recommend doing, I'm just putting the rubber ring on there so I can shake this up really good, kind of get those spices and things blended around in there. But what you can do is take that rubber ring off and then just put it back on. That will help give it more breathing space, because you're going to want to, when you're fermenting your vegetables, if you don't have any of those special, I guess mason tops is what they're called, then you're going to want to come back and check it at least once a day and make sure you release the gases. I actually had a jar of kimchi one time using the fermentation starter. It fermented so quickly, I'd never seen it do this before, that the next day it was pushing the top, the metal top. I had a metal top on there and it made it dome up. It actually bent the lid. I've never seen that happen before. It just happened that one time. And I had to throw that lid out because it was no good then. So, and I'm looking at this going, I could add more water. Now that it's all it's all mixed up in there. So I'm going to push these down, just add a little bit more. Well, I guess it's not that bad. Okay, so we're going to give this a try. Now that I've got this all mixed and I feel that that's good enough, I'm going to go ahead, since I'm using the Tatler lid, and take this rubber ring off and then put this back on, kind of loose, so that way the gases can escape. And I'll be back in about 2 to 3 days and we'll see how this turned out. Well, I'm back and it's day 3 of my fermenting nasturtiums, and I did try a little bit of it already, and I want you to know it's very tasty. The taste is different than what I expected, but it is really, really good. So I'll definitely be doing this again. So here's what the color looks like. Now that would be, it got that dark because I have those real dark burgundy nasturtiums in here, and it was just enough to really darken the whole liquid. Even the garlic, you can see the garlic has taken on some color. So I'll get out a big bunch here. Now if I would have added ginger to this, this would be very much like kimchi. It is really good. And I could have packed more flowers and leaves in there, so I'm going to do that next time. So see how good that looks? It is really, really yummy. So you need to give this a try if you're growing nasturtiums and you like fermented foods. Lots of really good things in here for you. And I'll be talking more about nasturtiums in another video coming up soon, about the health benefits of and the medicinal benefits of nasturtiums and why you should grow them and put them to use. Alright, and there's one more thing I want to show you before I close up this video, and that is just a quick update on my fermentation starters. Now here's the raspberry one that I started the other day in that video, and it is, you can't really hear the bubbles right now. It is actually pretty bubbly. It was, here we go. Needed to shake it a little bit. Now, remember how I said the raisin one was behind? It's actually, I probably don't even need to shake it, but I'll go ahead and shake it a little bit. It is very bubbly. The very next day after I made the video, it was bubbling like crazy. And this one has such an amazing smell. I can hardly wait to use this one for making my homemade bread, because I think this is going to really add to the flavor. And then the blueberry one, of all 3 of them, is the least fizzy. Actually, it sounds pretty good right now. But earlier when I was comparing the 3 of them, it was the least fizzy out of the 3. Funny how that is. Living organisms, so you never know. They're all going to behave differently from day to day. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video on fermenting nasturtiums and that you learned something new. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.